What is up, guys? Lux here from the MD Journey, where my job is to help you succeed in your medical journey with less stress. This video is going to be basically version number or episode number 2 of the Residency Chronicles, which is my series tracking my journey throughout my residency application process. And I'm going to answer a specific question that's also applicable to all of you guys that are applying to med school, which is how do you prepare for this interview season? I know a lot of you guys are turning your applications for med school. I myself am about to turn my application for residency. So in this video, we're going to talk about probably the most important thing that I used when I was applying to med school, and it's going to be the most important thing that I'm going to use when I'm applying to residency. So we're going to talk about that after this intro. Alright guys, so what is the most important thing you need to know when you are preparing for your interview season? But before I start, if it feels like I'm kind of off or I look tired, it's because I am. I just finished a 12-hour shift on my first day of ICU, so I have 27 more to go. But this is the only time this week I'll probably be able to make a video for you guys, so I'm going to take advantage of it. But let's get to the question, which is what is the most important thing you can remember when you are about to start your interview season? I'm going to be assuming that you kind of submitted or are about to submit your application. And this is kind of preparation for your interview and just the whole application process that comes with it. And this is the one thing you guys have to remember is that usually the thing that people struggle with the most when it comes to interview season and application cycles is that they get thrown off by the most basic questions that they're asked on the interview trail, on their personal statements, on the supplemental essays, basically everything that's kind of asking questions about you. For some reason, we struggle with that the most, and it's because we don't really think about those questions enough. So one of the questions that if you're applying to med school, for example, you're going to have continuously on your personal statement, you're going to have it on your interview, is why do you want to become a doctor? I talk about this in a lot of my videos, and so I'm not going to belabor the point, but the question is, or the answer is, you have to have thought about that question multiple times, and kind of throughout the years, the months that you are doing your application, you need to kind of compile an answer that's not scripted. It's just you. Like, you've thought about it enough that you kind of know. Like, whenever somebody asks me why I want to become a physician, this is my go-to answer. And it's real, it's you, because you've thought about it and you realize that that's authentically your answer. And you basically have to do that, guys, for everything that you think could show up on your application or your interview. So for me, as I'm applying to residency, I'm going to get still asked about why I went into medicine, but I'm also going to get asked about why I chose the field that I did, or I'm about to, which is internal medicine. Like, what led me to make that decision towards this field versus another field? And so I know that's a question that's coming up. And so how do I prepare for it? I kind of basically, it's weird, it sounds weird, but I talk to myself internally on my long drives back home, drives to the school, like when you're working out. It's like, why did I choose this field? When you're leaving the hospital, like, what made that day awesome that you kind of want to do it for the rest of your life? And you have to ask yourself these questions before anyone else asks you them, because then when it comes time to really kind of show off and seem authentic and be genuine, you won't have an issue. Like, I feel like the biggest compliment sometimes that I get during my interview, during my interviews during med school, was that it seems like you kind of have things figured out. Like, that's what I was told. I was told that during my interviews. I was told that during my dean's feedback while I'm preparing for residency interviews right now. And it's not because I'm not really doing anything differently than my other med school peers. It's just because I've spent the time to introspect and ask myself, like, why do I want these specific things? What do I want out of myself and my career in 5 years and 10 years? All those questions that you kind of see on the horizon that are going to come, I've thought about those. And so I encourage you guys to take any bit of time you have, a minute, an hour, you have a long drive, you have a long run, think about these little things and kind of come up with your answers. And don't think about them just once, don't think about them just twice. Like, keep coming back to them, because you'll find that your answer becomes more and more sharp. You appear more and more wise, and you just appear more genuine. So that's usually probably my biggest tip for anyone applying, is think about everything you do. I think if you're a pre-med and you're watching this video, you've probably seen my videos, which is what are like the 5 most important things you need to have before you even turn in your application. And one of them is that you need to kind of understand your why, and you need to grow your why, right? Like, I talk about coming up with reasons you want to go into medicine, and then finding things that kind of fit that passion. And so you have to get in this ability of introspecting, what do I like, and then finding activities. Same thing applies when you're applying to residency and med school. When you know these questions are about to come up, you need to kind of start thinking about what experiences have you done that have led you to make this decision. What about those experiences really spoke to you? And basically, if you do that, guys, like, you will be able to separate yourself. Even if you did the exact same experiences, have the same grades, same marks as the person that sat in that chair before you, the person that's going to get interviewed after you, you will, out of all three of those applicants, including yourself, you will just seem like the most genuine and most comfortable person with your answers. It's just because you've thought about them. So, advice, long story short, don't let the questions during your interview cycle be the first time that you've heard them or the first time you've asked yourself them. If you do that, you will just be able to have a comfortable conversation. You'll just kind of know what you want, and you'll be able to kind of display that on your interviews. And at that point, really, it's just, does the program like you, and are you a good fit? And at that point, like, it's kind of out of your control. So hopefully that helps some of you guys that are kind of concerned about the interview process really start thinking about these common questions that you know are going to show up, which is, why do you want to become a physician? Why do you go in the field you are about to go to if you're applying to residency? What are your plans for the future? And it's okay to not have like a really specific thing. Just think about it more and more. You realize your picture of what you want becomes more and more clear the more and more you ask yourself. So hopefully that's helpful. I know that's kind of went on a tangent, but it's probably one of the biggest things that I'm going to utilize when I'm applying to residency. I'm not stressed when the process is starting. Maybe that'll change in the next couple of months, but I'm excited for the process. Hopefully you guys are excited to follow me on my journey. I'm excited to hear about you guys on your med school journey. So fill me in, comment below with any questions you have. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, help the channel out, help me out. Go ahead and give a like to the video. Share it to any friends that you think this would be helpful to, and definitely subscribe and join the community if you haven't so already. Highly appreciate all of you guys that have shown me your support. I'm going to get back to making the videos in my schedule because I am back from camp, but I am also on my ICU rotation, so I will do my best to be as consistent as possible. But thank you guys again. I can't thank you all enough for the support you've shown me and the channel and just the blog and everything. But hopefully this video was helpful hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. But I will see you guys as always in the next video. Take care, my friends.